Welcome to the Wager Detective Report for breakdown analysis and prediction for this game.
Hello and good day, folks. Welcome back. This is Wager Detective. We're going to cap this Phillies versus Mariners game, August 24th, 2026. Let's get into it. We look at this Phillies versus Mariners last 9 games. The Phillies are 6-3, plus 13 run differential. They're scoring 5.78 runs a game to 4.33 against. They've won 6 out of their last 9 against the Mariners, and they swept them last year. They swept them at Citizens Bank Park. So comfortable against this team, just swept them last year. We know the Mariners have been getting thumped around in a couple of their games, but let's see where this cap leads. The Phillies, 73-58 on the year. They're 35-28 on the road. This team has potential to do something in the playoffs. You got Wheeler, Luzardo, and Sanchez, 3 good pitchers, 2 lefties. They can go against any lineup, and they got one of the better lineups, power-hitting lineups in all of baseball. This Phillies team is definitely to be reckoned with come playoffs. And we look at them, they're plus 27 run differential this year, but they're 9-1 in their last 10 games. And they're just on a roll here. Over their last 9, they're 9-0. You'd like to see the plus run differential higher, because you look at teams like the Cubs and the Brewers, they can bury you in a hurry. When we look at the Phillies, they again, not a bad record, 73-58. And they're right behind the Cubs in the wild card rankings here, as you can see. So 2 games out of that. But they got teams on their heels like the Diamondbacks, even the Marlins on their heels, the Padres. So they're 2 games back of this wild card spot. The Cubs are in the lead in the wild card right now if the playoffs were to start today. And if we look at this Phillies team, it's led by Marsh in batting average, and then Schwarber is leading the team in home runs and RBIs. Turner, Schwarber, Baum, Harper, Marsh, and Stott. You got guys like Crawford. You got Real Muto, who's one of the better catchers in Major League Baseball, if not the best. He is a neutralizer when guys are on base. And then you got guys like Sosa and Marchand. Key guys that are low-key that nobody really knows about or thinks about, but those guys are the utility guys that can get jobs done for this team. But this Phillies team is fantastic, man. I mean, Harper and Schwarber, they can flip a game on its head. When we look at their road splits, they're 35-28 on the year, scoring 4 runs a game, almost 8 hits a game, hitting over a home run a game, 227 average, 296 on-base percentage, 369 slug, and 664 OPS. I don't like necessarily the slash line, but 4 runs a game, a home run a game. I want to see that slug up closer to 4, if not over 4, and definitely want to see that OPS up over 7. So, but they got a winning record, and they're scoring 4 runs a game. Since July, they're 25-20, scoring almost 5 runs a game, almost 8.5 hits a game, almost a home run a game. The average, the OPS is solid since July, 743, and they're batting 257 since July. In August, they got an 800 OPS, so they're starting to hit the ball with a little bit more power. And like we said, this team is on a roll. They've won their last 9 games. They are going from home to the road to the Mariners here. That's something to think about in this split with no rest. So it was a highly emotional game yesterday, the come from behind win. So when we look at the Phillies' last 9-0 record, plus 34 run differential, scoring 7.1 runs a game to 3.3. They're hitting 321 over their last 9 with a 411 average with runners in scoring position. We look at their last 3 games, the batting average goes up to 337 and their OPS goes up to 419. So over their last 9, over their last 3, they've just been absolutely demolishing teams, plus 34 run differential, and they're scoring 7 runs a game over their last 9. And you look at the average and the OPS, you can't ask for anything more in a hot streak than that. I don't know if it could get much better than that. This Phillies team's on a roll. Again, my concern could possibly be them going on the road here to the West Coast. We look at them from a home to road with no rest. They're 4-3 this year. The run differential is even. They're scoring 4 runs a game, the 4 runs a game for their opponent. And they're batting .216 in the split. But the runners in scoring position is still solid, 292. So 4-3 record. Even though they're 4-3, the run differential is even, and they're scoring 4 runs a game to their opponents. For batting average, not good in this split. But their runners in scoring position looking solid. And they're going to be seeing Logan Gilbert, 29-year-old. He's having a decent year, 10-7 record, 3.35 ERA, 157 strikeouts with a 1.01 WHIP. The kid is solid. He's the ace of this rotation for them to go along with Kirby and a couple other guys that they got over there. Not bad. He's a decent ace for that team. So when we look at Gilbert's 2026 season, he's 10-7 in 25 starts. He's given up almost 7 hits a game, a little over a home run a game. Walks are reasonable. He's only walked 37 batters this year. He's striking out over 9 batters per 9. So it's a good. I like this number. It's very, very reasonable. 3.35 ERA and 1.01 WHIP, and he's got the strikeout capability to get guys out of there if he does walk people. We look at his home splits this year. He's 7-4 in 14 starts, 85 innings pitched, giving up less than 7 hits a game. The ERA does balloon up to over 4, and he's given up almost 2 home runs per 9. But teams only hitting 207 against him, and he's got the strikeout stuff, almost 10 strikeouts per 9. So outside of the home runs and the ERA, the home runs create that ERA. So if he can limit that, he's good. When we look at his last 5 outings, his team is 4-1, plus 5 run differential. They're scoring 3.8 runs a game to 2.8 against. His last 5 outings, he's going 30 1/3, less than 7 hits per 9, a 3.26 ERA. The home runs do come down to a home run and a half per 9. The walks are a little concerning here, 3.6 over his last 5 per 9. The wins did come against the Brewers, Yankees, Twins, and Rangers. The loss came against the Rays. The Mariners have won his last 2 starts. And again, outside of the home runs, the walks, not bad. I like the ERA, so it's telling me there's not a lot of guys on base when he is giving up the home run, and he's still got the strikeout capabilities, almost 9 per 9 with 8 strikeouts per 9. So they're winning for him, 4-1 in his last 5 outings. We look at Logan Gilbert on 4 days rest at home. He's 2-2 this year, -7 run differential, only scoring 2 runs a game for him, the 3.75 against. In 21 innings pitched on 4 days rest at home this year, he's given up almost 10 hits per 9, a 4.71 ERA. The home runs drop. It's pretty good there. The walks are still a concern, but he's got the strikeout stuff. 10.3 strikeouts per 9 in this split. So 2-2, -7 run differential. You're going to want to see the Mariners score a little bit more, man. That's the one thing about this team. Now, if we look at the Mariners, they are, where are they at there? 62-69 on the year, and they're 35-30 at home. This team, if they do not win their division, I mark these words, if they do not win this division, they will not make a wild card. I've already worked out the math. I've looked at some of the wild card numbers and where they're at in that split. They're not good. They either win the division or they don't make the playoffs. When we look at them, they're -61 run differential in the year. And you look at all the teams in the West, they're all minus run differential. The Mariners have lost their last game. They're 6-4 in their last 10, and they got a 35% chance to make the playoffs. But you could just see by that minus run differential, they just don't score a lot of runs. You'd like to see them put up some runs. Now, if we look in the wild card spot, look at how far down they are. They're behind the Orioles, Twins, the Blue Jays, the Guardians, the Texans, Boston, and New York. Only 3 teams make that wild card. And again, if this Mariners team doesn't win their division, they're not going to make the playoffs. So they have to get started here on chasing down these Astros. They're only 3 games back of the Astros, so that's a good sign. But they don't want to fall too much further behind. When we look at this team, it's all Randy Arozarena. He leads the team in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. They got some good talent on this team. They got the kid Young from the Orioles. He's good. Naylor's great. Rodriguez, hit or miss, man. I like to see him step up. Obviously, Arozarena. I like Canzone. Raleigh hit a monster shot the other night, a home run. He hasn't had a great year, but I still got faith in this kid, a good catcher. Calls a great game, and I still believe in him. I don't care how bad of a year he's had. Look what he did last year. When we look at the Mariners and home splits, they're 35-30, scoring less than 4 runs a game, 7 hits a game, over a home run a game, very good. Only batting .222 at home this year with a 31% on-base percentage, 371 slug, and 677 OPS. You want to see that slug go up, and you want to see the OPS go up. Batting average not good, but scoring almost 4 runs a game. With Logan Gilbert on the mound, if they could give him that, they got a shot. Mariners since July, 18-26. They're only scoring 3.6 runs a game, 7.32 hits a game, a home run per 9. They've scored hit 44 home runs in 44 games since July. 222 average and a 659 OPS. Like we said, the Phillies doing a little bit better. They're hitting 800 OPS in July themselves, the Phillies. So The Mariners, man, can they wake up here? Mariners, Sunday to Monday. This is a good split for them. Sunday to Monday with no rest at home. They got a 6-1 record this year, plus 18 run differential, scoring 4.86 runs a game to 2.3 for their opponents. They're batting .272 in this split with a .263 average with runners in scoring position. Now, when we look at them in their last 3 in this split, they're 3-0. Sunday to Monday, no rest at home, plus 14 run differential, scoring 5.67 runs a game to 1 run against, and they're hitting .318 with runners in scoring position in their last 3 of this split. This is a solid point for them. It shows me that they like to get off to the week on a strong point. They're at home. Again, the Phillies flying from Philly to Seattle could mess up their rhythm. They're going to be seeing Zack Wheeler. Wheeler, 36-year-old righty, 10-4 record this year with a 2.92 ERA. He's got 144 strikeouts on the year with a 1.01 whip. He's having another, he's just the model of consistency here. I like Zack Wheeler. He's a great piece of this Phillies rotation and a piece of this rotation that's going to help them do anything if they make the playoffs. But they got Sanchez. They got Luzardo. They got a decent bullpen. When we look at what Wheeler's done this year, 3.17 ERA. He's given up over a home run per 9, less than 7 hits per 9, 2.47 walks per 9, and look at the strikeouts, 10.7, almost 11 strikeouts per 9. So good record, good ERA, not giving up hits, not walking too many batters and striking out guys if he does walk batters. So he's looking good in this regard. Last 5 starts, Wheeler 2-3. The Phillies are 2-3, plus 2 run differential, scoring 5.2 runs a game to 4.8 against. Last 5, he's put in 20 1/3, almost given up 10 hits a game. Look at the ERA, though. Jumps up to 6.64 over his last 5. He's given up close to 2 home runs per 9. And look at the walks. 11 walks in his last 20 1/3. But he's got the strikeout stuff. Almost 12 per 9. When we look at him versus the wins in his last 5 came against the Marlins and the Orioles. The losses came against the Cardinals, Blue Jays, and the Marlins. So you look at his last 5, the ERA not looking good, giving up almost 2 home runs per 9, and the walks are elevated. When we look at his road splits this year, they look much better. 6-2 in 12 starts, 2.67 ERA. He has given up less than 7 hits per 9. ERA comes down to 2.67. Still giving up a home run per 9. Walks aren't there. Team's only batting against 205 against him in this split on the road and with a 615 OPS. So compared to his last 5 and his road, looks a little bit better. But I can't get that last 5 out of my mind. When we look at what Zack Wheeler has done on 5 days rest on the road this year, the Phillies are 4-2 plus 10 run differential. They're scoring 4.8 runs a game to 3.17. In this split, 31 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits per game, 3.45 ERA, but the home runs on 5 days rest on the road, they're there. 2 home runs per 9. But he does have the strikeout capability to get out of jams. 11 strikeouts per 9. He's been strong on 5 days rest on the road. The only concern is the 7 home runs allowed. That's the biggest concern. That comes out to 2 home runs per 9 in 5 days rest on the road. So, you look at his last 5 and then that split, 5 days rest on the road. When we line up the splits, Wheeler on 5 days rest, 4-2 on the road, plus 10 run differential, 3.45 ERA, 2 home runs per 9 when he pitches on 5 days rest on the road. When we look at Gilbert, 4 days rest at home, he's 2-2. His team is -7 in the run differential department. He's given up almost 10 hits a game, but the home runs, less than a home run game there. And the walks are a little elevated. He's got the strikeout stuff. I think the concern here is Wheeler, in a lot of these splits, giving up home runs. And a team that's just gotten beat so bad, I think the public is just going to see what the Phillies have done. I don't know if that can translate here because you're going on the road to Seattle with no rest. Now, we look at these situational splits. The Phillies, home to road this year, again, 4-3, scoring 4 runs a game. They got a .216 average with a .292 runners in scoring position. When we look at the Mariners, home from Sunday to Monday, they're 6-1 this year, plus 18 run differential, scoring 4.86 runs a game, but only giving up 2.3. They're batting .272 in this split and .263 with runners in scoring position. And again, the Mariners, 3-0 in their last Sunday to Monday home games, plus 14 run differential, 17 runs to 3 runs. That's 5.67 runs a game to 1 run a game for their opponents. And guys, when we look at this, they're hitting .318 in their last, with runners in scoring position in their last 3 of this split, Sunday to Monday. home with no rest. So when we look at this, the concern for me is Wheeler in his last 5. The home runs are jumping up in a lot of his splits. And when we get to the bullpen, Mariners 18th best in baseball. The Phillies are 20th. I kind of like the Phillies bullpen a little bit more. Duran, as you see there, 1.75 ERA. He is fresh in this game. All the Phillies pitchers are fresh. Yesterday, for the Phillies, Miza had 24 pitches and McFarlane had 10. And when we look at that, all those guys, Raley, Duran, Alvarado, they're all fresh. And when we look at the Mariners bullpen, they're solid too. They're pretty fresh. But yesterday, Rucker had 33 pitches, Ferrer had 24, and Bizzardo had 13. So out of the pen yesterday alone, the Mariners have 70 pitches out of the pen yesterday, and the Phillies had 34. And Munoz is a hit or miss man. This guy's got a 100-mile-per-hour sinker, and he always seems to get rocked. I don't know what it is. I like Dominguez. These are all numbers over their last week. Dominguez hasn't looked good. Simpson got banged around. Rucker got banged around. You won't see Rucker today. He had 33 yesterday, like we said. Ferrer had 24. He could possibly go if they need him for a couple pitches. And then Bizzardo had 13. Guys, if I'm looking at this game, I'm going with the Mariners. I know that people will look at that. Phillies 9-0 in their last 9. But I just think that you're going to get a good performance out of Gilbert here. And I like the split of the Mariners home Sunday to Monday home compared to what the Phillies do going from the home to road. And this is just ain't any home to road. This is the farthest that you can go on a schedule. They're going from Philadelphia to Seattle with no rest. I think the Mariners wake up here. The Phillies, don't get it wrong, they're doing good, but I think you break up a little bit of that rhythm when you're going from home to road like this. So give me the Mariners plus 100. I do think this game does get over 6.5 as well. So that's Wager Detective's call here. I'm going to call the Mariners here to win this game. And I do believe that somehow, some way, this game gets over the 6.5. You could be looking at a 4-3 game, 5-2 game. So that's my call here. Thank you for tuning in. This is Wager Detective. I love all my fans out there, present and future. And that's it, folks. That's what I have for you. Let's go Mariners, and let's go over 6.5. I'll talk to you soon.
Breaking news. Wager Detective is quickly becoming a superstar on the rise, thanks to his unmatched analytical skills and powerful personal brand. Wager Detective's approach to solving complex cases is redefining the industry.